All right, joining me on the White Sox Talk podcast, it is Hagen Smith, first-round pick of the White Sox. All right, so Hagen, Chicago's a new city for you. What do you think about this city and this team that has drafted you, and where your future in Major League Baseball is coming?
Yeah, the city's awesome. I mean, just going out last night. I mean, we went to the restaurant to get my parents, and then some of the staff members for the White Sox, and just kind of just going out and just seeing. I mean, this morning, me and my girlfriend went to breakfast and just walking around, just kind of just experience the town. But I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I'm super excited.
A go-to meal for you. It's dinner. What do you want to eat?
I guess depending on the night, we had some steak last night, but probably just some sort of like chicken or some dish like that.
Okay. There's no steak in this city. You can't find steak anywhere.
Yeah.
But how about this opportunity you have with the White Sox? What do you think about that?
It's awesome. I mean, obviously not having the year they want to, but I mean, looking at the farm system as a whole and the people that are in the majors right now, I mean, the really good prospects coming up. I mean, the minor leagues as a whole. So I'm really excited to get to work and, hopefully contribute to the team faster. I mean, try to get there as fast as I can.
Yeah, I was talking to your coach at Arkansas, Dave Van Horn, and he said you can pitch out of the bullpen right now in the major leagues. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I definitely think so. Just confidence-wise, I think I probably could. But, there's still some stuff I need to work on before I get there, in my opinion. I mean, there's stuff I got to refine before I actually start throwing again.
Yeah. What do you want to refine in the off season for next year?
Just a little bit what I did last year, going into last year, just work on mechanics, trying to clean them up a little bit during the off season, just work on command, just really trying to dial in my changeup and cutter just so I can have 4 real pitches.
Looking at your career at Arkansas, you made progress every year. Yeah. What was behind that every year that made you a better pitcher year after year after year?
Yeah, I think it's just like after the season, just taking a step back and really talking with the coaches while I was there, just trying to figure out what I needed to do to be a better pitcher. And where I'm going to go back to Fayetteville probably this weekend and do the same thing I did the past few years, just throw an exit bullpen and then try to really just try to figure out what I want to work on and really set like a pretty much a timeline or goals I want to do during the offseason to get better, to get where I want to be.
So everyone that gets drafted has obviously a dream of making it to the major leagues. Tell me about your dream. How far back does it go to want to make it to the bigs?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, you start playing. I feel like everybody starts playing just for fun. I mean, once maybe like 14 or 15, I guess, is really when I was really wanting to play in the big leagues. And, going through high school with my buddies, I had a bunch of buddies go to play college ball. So it was, we really thought we talked about it a lot growing up in high school. So, I mean, it'd be really cool to make a big league debut.
All right. So I do pre and post game shows for the White Sox. Frank Thomas is on the show. Mm-hmm. And about a month or so ago, Frank, Hall of Famer, went to Auburn, watches a lot of SEC baseball. Before you were even drafted, he's like, the White Sox got to get Hagen Smith. I've been watching this kid throw. He's a stud. What does it mean to hear someone like Frank Thomas, one of the greatest hitters of all time, to say that about you?
Yeah, it was really cool. I remember when we were at Auburn this past year, I remember someone was saying that he was there, and I was trying to look for him, but I couldn't see him. But it was really cool just to hear that from me. And he's, like I said, he's a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, it's really cool to hear that.
You were looking for Frank and you couldn't find him.
No.
What would you say to him if you met Frank? Because I think you will eventually.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably just introduce myself. He doesn't need to introduce himself to me, but I just got to introduce myself.
Love it. Love it. So on draft day, did you have any idea who was going to draft you?
Not really, honestly. I mean, leading up to the draft, you don't really hear much until about a couple of days before, a day before. And really on the day of, I didn't really have an idea. I just heard from teams here and there. And then really just once the TV, once the show started, I kind of just let it play out. Because, I mean, it's whatever happens going to happen at that point. So you just kind of have to enjoy and soak in the moment.
All right, so speaking with Dave Van Horn, he says that when you're on the mound and there are runners in scoring position, that is when you're at your best. All right. Do you agree with that? And if so, why are you at your best when you've got a man on second, man on third, etc.
I do agree. Just for me, it just kind of like it's kind of like a punch in the face a little bit. Kind of like oh, okay, I got to go. Like I gotta lock in a little more. So I mean, I've always been like that growing up. Just like it kind of makes me like have to like focus more. So it helps me a lot.
Yeah, I've heard that about. Here's an example: Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
There's no one on base. That was your best chance to get a hit against Roger
Yeah.
Clemens. But if you got men on second and third, or even first base, he got so pissed.
Yeah.
He took it personally
Yeah.
that he was really, really tough to beat. So is that kind of in essence like the competitor in you coming out?
Yeah, for sure. I think that just brings it out, just knowing that you don't want them to score, especially for the team. I mean, those guys score, you could go down 2 runs. So it just kind of brings out the competitiveness, like you said.
All right, so you seem like a very nice guy.
Yeah.
What do you like on the mound?
What do you mean? Oh,
like this pleasant person that I'm talking to. Are you as pleasant when you're on the mound, especially when there are runners in scoring position?
No, not really. I don't know. I've always been like that. Just whenever I step on the mound, I mean, I feel like most pitchers are like this, but like it's just kind of a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm super laid back off the field, but like once it comes like competitive mode, like I don't know. I don't like to talk to people very much on start days and stuff.
So people like to ask you about your 17 strikeouts you had against Oregon State back in February, and I will ask you about that. But here's the question I really want to ask you. It was about the start you had before that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Cold day, wind blowing out to right, if I'm not mistaken. And you gave up a 3-run homer. 30 pitches in the first inning, and Van Horn pulled you.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And he said you were foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. So take us back to this day. What was going on?
Yeah, you know, just like the first inning, I think I walked 2 people in a row, and then I end up giving the homer, and then just I was really frustrated with myself after that outing. You know, just after he told me I was done, I kind of just sat there for a second, just kind of like my head down, just in our tunnel, like leading up to the locker room before I went back out to the dugout, and just really thinking. I was just like telling myself, I was like, that's just not going to happen again. There's just no way I'm going to let that happen again.
And that was your first start of the season?
The first start.
Yeah. What kind of setback is that for you? You're preparing for the whole season, and then boom, right out of the gate, you have a start like that. And I know you take pride in being the guy, or being a guy, certainly, and you let your team down.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not how you want to start, but I mean, just kind of my whole thing is just this year, just talking with other starters too, is even if it's a really good start or a really bad start, it's just got to go on to the next week. It's just kind of what we talked about as a staff is every week's a whole new week. So you kind of have to flush it, good or bad. So you just kind of forget about what happened.
All right, so your next start, one of the greatest pitching performances in the history of college baseball, 17 strikeouts against Oregon State, including the first 15. You struck out the first 15 batters. When this is going on, what are you thinking? What is going through your mind?
Nothing at all. Which is crazy because people always ask me, like, did you know? And honestly, I really didn't know what was happening. I was just kind of like in a flow state of mind, just kind of going out there, just getting outs and go back in the dugout. Getting outs. I had my routine going back in the dugout. Like I'll usually eat a snack and just like drink some water. So, I mean, having that routine in between innings kind of helped me just not realize. But, looking back on it, I really wish I would have asked Coach Van Horn to let me go back out.
Yeah, you went, 6 innings, was it?
Yeah, 6 innings.
You threw 78 pitches and struck out 17. When did you know you had thrown out that many guys? Or not thrown out, struck out that many guys?
Well, after I got pulled, I asked somebody. So honestly, I really didn't know. It's just like in the moment when you're in a game like that and like just go mode, like you don't really count. Like you just get out. I don't know. It's just a weird state of mind.
So Travis Bazzana was in that game. He was taken first overall. How did he do against you? I know the answer.
He had a good at bats. I was talking with Travis in Omaha at the Golden Spike ceremony, and just a great dude. Along with Charlie is also a great dude. But I mean, Travis just super down to earth guy. I mean, loves the game. So it was really cool meeting him and talking to him about that game.
So you're already a pro at the media. Because I'm just going to tell everyone what he did against you, what you did against him, he went 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. But here you are providing a compliment about him. So good on you.
Thank you.
And you're going to be seeing a lot of him and Jack Caglione. Those guys are both in the American League Central. So a nice little, I don't want to call it a rivalry. Well, it is a rivalry in the division, but these are guys that you have faced before.
Yeah.
What's it like facing Jack Caglione?
It was really cool. I mean, just knowing he's like a really, really good hitter. He can do a lot of damage against you. Just try to pitch him carefully, honestly. Just try to throw like a ball or two off here and there. And I always said, like, in the matchup, like, I want to strike him out and he wants to hit a homer off me. Like, in the moment we were playing each other. So it was super fun just going at each other. And I mean, he hit some balls pretty hard, but luckily they're at people.
He did go 0 for 3 against you, I think, this year. You had 3 starts at Winston-Salem. What was that experience like for you? What did you learn about your stuff as you're now facing minor league hitters?
Yeah, it was super fun getting out there, just meeting all the guys there, just kind of getting acclimated to the pro ball lifestyle. But yeah, I mean, I thought I threw all right, honestly, just trying to get my feet wet a little bit. But I threw good here and there, and then also had some innings where kind of lost feel some things. But I mean, in a whole, I thought it was pretty fun.
I mean, did it feel like college baseball, or did it feel like something different?
No, not really. It's just, what I like about it is just like having your own routine. You can do whatever you need to do. So anything you want to do, you can do it. So I feel like that was really cool. Just have like I can do my own routine without having like to do something like my college coaches wanted me to do, is to just do what I wanted to do. So it was cool like that.
So now you're with the White Sox, and Brian Bannister is the director of pitching. Have you had any conversations with him? And if so, what have those been like?
Just one brief conversation right before I went out to Winston. Just, we're just kind of talking about my plan going into this year, just right before we went out. So, I mean, other than that, no, just a brief conversation.
Okay. I want to go back to your senior year in high school. Now, I see stats from pitchers all across the country that you get to the major leagues, you're going to blow people away. It's just going to happen because, the competition just can't deal with some of the best pitchers in baseball. You went 11-0 with a 0.19 ERA your senior year. You allowed 7 hits and 73 innings. You threw 7 no-hitters. 7 no-hitters. You had no mercy on these kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool that season. Yeah. Obviously the competition wasn't like the best, but I mean, we still faced good guys and we still managed to win. So it was super fun.
I've never asked this question before. Was there one no-hitter that was better than the others?
No. No. I was close to a perfect game one game, and then I ended up walking the last hitter to get the perfect game. So that was a cool one too.
But are you still thinking about that? How you pitched to that guy?
Honestly, that was a long time ago. I can't even I don't remember what happened that game.
Come on, that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's not that far along.
Yeah.
But then you get here to Chicago. What kind of team do you think this team can be in the future? I know you are going to just play one part in it, but I mean, how exciting is it for you to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be someone who can, be an anchor to this rotation.
Yeah, I mean, it's super fun. It's just super exciting just knowing that. I mean, hopefully win, and when I get up, I mean, just contribute really good. I mean, I know there's a lot of guys that are going to in the organization, a lot of guys that are there right now that are really good. I mean, so it's just super exciting just to know the future, but just try to stay where my feet are and just hopefully when I get there, I get there.
Yeah, everyone's going to be asking you, how close are you to the major leagues? And every prospect gets that question. And, you don't want to say, I'll be there next year or this year, but what would it mean? Let's jump ahead to your major league debut. What's that going to mean for you?
I mean, everything. I mean, that's why I play baseball at this point. I mean, that's the dream, to get there and then stay there. Honestly, that's the hardest part, is staying there. So hopefully whenever that happens, I get to stay for a while, not go up and down. But obviously it's part of the game. So you never know what happens, but that's my goal, is to get up and stay up.
Okay. Well, hey, this is great talking with you, meeting you, and looking forward to seeing you down the road and in Chicago pitching for the White Sox. How does that sound?
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
All right. Hagen Smith joining us here on the White Sox Talk podcast. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hawk Harrelson, take it away.
Thanks, Art Chuck. And this edition of the White Sox Talk podcast is over.
Congrats, you finished the video. If you want to build on that success, download the NBC Sports Chicago app. It's got highlights, exclusive insights, and push alerts tailored to you. Everything you need to be a real Chicago sports fan. Download it now.